As soon as the cameras began to roll, the tension was evident. Hip-hop and love fans were already talking about the most recent rumors. But no one could have predicted the impending tempest. Unaware that the day would alter everything she believed to be true, Yandy entered the set. Her heart was pounding as she looked around the room and heard crew members whispering that the energy had changed. Then, without warning, Mendeecees came in, attempting to keep his composure, but even he appeared uneasy. The name Erica Mena had been mentioned in passing, but now it seemed as though there were secrets in the air that were just waiting to be revealed. Shocking claims were hinted at in whispers. Assertions that have the potential to destroy relationships and destroy reputations. Every nuanced look, every tight motion, every glimmer of uncertainty and suspicion was captured by the cameras. Then, the shocking revelation arrived. The room froze at the startling revelation. Emotions are running high and fans are stunned. Yandy's look changed from bewilderment to disbelief. The kind of incredulity that results from the eventual revelation of secrets. The drama, the betrayal, and the unvarnished confrontations that were about to come to light were unpredictable. The truth was about to be revealed. The scene was set, and the actors were in disbelief. Before anyone said a word, the room was tight. The crew had been filming what appeared to be a typical day, but there was a lot of excitement in the air. Yandy sat silently, flipping through her phone while attempting to block out the faint glances and murmurs that signaled something was going to happen. Despite all the rumors and conflicts she had experienced, today seemed different. Throughout the morning, Erica Mena's name had been spoken in whispers, and everyone was aware that this would be more than a heated argument. Even the seasoned crew felt the pressure of the moment as the cameras recorded every second. Mandy noticed that although he was trying to look composed, there was a hint of discomfort on his face. He had been getting ready for this, practicing his response in case the accusations were brought up. However, the unadulterated feelings that pervaded the room could never be replicated in rehearsals. Yandy raised her head now and met his gaze. Her look was unreadable, yet it was full of curiosity and mistrust. She had heard rumors that Erica Mena had recorded parts of the story, but up until today, she had not received anything tangible. Everyone on set was well aware of the seriousness of the upcoming conflict as the cameras rolled. A producer said the first thing. There was a silent caution about maintaining professionalism, but the tension disregarded protocol. Erica Mena was not physically present. Nevertheless, her presence was evident in every tense glance and hushed discussion. Knowing that today's film would be explosive, the team exchanged glances, the kind that would split the family and outrage fans. At last, Mendeecees broke the silence by clearing his throat. He spoke in a steady but urgent tone. "I want to address this now so there's no confusion." Yandy squinted. She had anticipated a statement of some sort, but she was unprepared for the emotional impact of what came next. "Erica Mena has made certain claims about me and her child," he went on. "The baby is not mine. It is crucial to make this plain. In front of everyone, those assertions are untrue." There was silence in the room. His involvement had been conjectured by fans who were monitoring the social media chatter. Now that he was stating this on video, the responses were strong and instantaneous. Yandy's palm trembled a little as she took it all in. She had already defended Mendeecees numerous times and attested to his integrity to family, friends, and even the cameras. She now had to deal with an unfamiliar and challenging situation. As crew members speculated in whispers about how this news would alter the chemistry on site, the anxiety increased. There was a palpable sense of astonishment, as though the globe had tipped slightly and everyone was having difficulty keeping their equilibrium. At last, Yandy spoke, her tone composed but full of restrained emotion. "Are you saying all of this, then? Is everything she said untrue?" she inquired. Layers of trust, betrayal, and concern of what the public may think were all present in the straightforward query. Mendeecees gave a nod. "Yes, that's precisely what I mean. I know this seems startling, but it's the reality. Since I am not Erica's child's father, I need everyone to completely understand that." The words lingered in the atmosphere. Every response and minute change in body language was captured by the crew's cameras as they rolled. The seriousness of the situation seemed to shock even the normally collected producers. Now the entire room was engulfed in a drama that felt painfully real, but larger than life. Yandy's mind was racing with questions when she uttered a single quote. Why had Erica Mena said these things? What had spurred her on? And above all, how would this impact their family, their reputation, and the complex network of connections encircling them? Her quiet reflection, the slight stiffness in her jaw, and the tightness in her shoulders were all captured by the cameras. The emotional turmoil, the kind of unfiltered human reaction that reality TV feeds on, would be felt by every viewer. "I know this may be hard to believe, especially given everything that's been said," Mendeecees continued after taking a long breath. "Open and truthful. I don't own the baby. I am aware of how these accusations have affected Yandy and the others in our circle, and it is imperative that this information be made public." Even though he spoke with precision, his words had a weight that reverberated throughout the space. Everyone in attendance was affected by the revelation of long-kept secrets, which raised the emotional stakes. Yandy gave a controlled but clearly rattled response. "I've always trusted you," she muttered, almost to herself. "And hearing this now, it's a lot. It makes me question everything we've been through," she said, her remarks meticulously recorded by the cameras. Depth of her internal conflict, as she attempted to make sense of the reality she was witnessing and the guy she had supported, her emotions were running high. In the public light, the family had been split, and that division felt achingly personal now that it was behind the cameras. The producers looked at each other anxiously. They had expected drama, but not the unadulterated vulnerability that was immediately visible on the scene. This was not just a pre-planned confrontation. Betrayal, emotion, and trust were all unspooled in real time. Everyone in attendance, including the cast, crew, and Yandy herself, were suspended in the suspense of revelation due to Mendeecees' insistence on clearing his reputation. As the discourse proceeded, as the dialogue proceeded, the increasing intensity was reflected in the quiet murmurs of adjacent crew members. One murmured, "Fans are shocked," virtually to no one. Another replied, "This is going to be everywhere." Awe and incredulity tinted their speech. The emotional stakes were getting higher. Water cooler talks, trending hashtags, and endless commentary are the kind of high-stakes scenarios that reality TV feeds on. Yandy's expression conveyed a mix of shock, pain, and cautious relief. Therefore, everything she said was untrue. Seeking comfort and a sense of stability amidst the whirlwind of rumors and media conjecture, she inquired once again. Mendeecees emphasized his seriousness by nodding. "It was untrue. I want you and everyone else watching to understand this. Speculation is not as important as the truth." His statements held the weight of someone attempting to rebuild not only his reputation, but the brittle confidence that had been damaged by public examination. In order to capture the subtle interplay of reactions and expressions, the crew carefully adjusted the cameras. The showdown, which was full of suspense, emotion, and the revelation of secret truths, had the potential to be one of the most unforgettable moments in reality TV history. Yandy's eyes were clearly raw as she processed the truth, reflecting the internal struggle. As she thought of the implica, her lips tightened. This was just the start. Fans were sure to discuss for weeks about the developing drama, the issues of trust, and the consequences of accusations versus facts. The space was vibrant, with tension, the kind of tension that would make headlines. Social media conversations created a narrative that blurred the line between entertainment and personal reality. Every moment spent filming was important. Each facial expression conveyed a tale. Additionally, every word that was spoken or not said increased the tension, leaving watchers eagerly awaiting the next disclosure. The moment captured by innumerable cameras demonstrated the strength of truth over allegation. It was very human, raw, and dramatic. Reality TV storytelling's ideal storm. Viewers at home, the reality of Mendeecees' denial and Yandy's processing of the truth created a story that was both captivating and emotionally charged. The audience would experience the shock, the disbelief, and the complicated relief, connecting to the very real emotions that had been ignited on set as the crew and cast navigated the unfolding events. There would be more surprises, emotions, and layers of truth to be uncovered during the day. The cameras would not turn off. The narrative would not stop, and every viewer was going to be captivated, shocked, and emotionally invested in the unfolding drama. This was the most memorable, dramatic, and human form of reality television. Even after the initial statements were made, the tension in the room remained. Mendeecees' denial and Yandy's emotional processing hung heavy, almost palpable, like a dense fog that would not go away. Members of the crew looked at each other, attempting to maintain professionalism despite being drawn in by the drama playing out in front of them. Speculation buzzed like electricity in the air as whispers drifted around the set. Everyone was aware that the video they were taking would become a topic of cultural discussion. Fans were taken aback. The family was clearly split, and headline would blow up. Yandy sat in silence for a while, gathering her thoughts. The revelation of reality had left her feeling a range of conflicting feelings: relief, uncertainty, trust, and in her imagination, lingering hurt collided. At last, she raised her gaze to Mendeecees, speaking softly, but with a careful firmness. "What does this imply for everything else? Then, for us, for what people have been saying about our family?" she said, posing a complex and inquisitive query. not just the public ramifications, but also the private impact on their relationship. Mendy took a deep breath, his eyes showing the stress of navigating this delicate moment. In the end, it means we deal with the reality of rumors that have caused needless pain while clearing my name. I want to be open and honest, not only for you, Yandy, but for everyone who has been watching and calmly waiting for clarifying words. Let's stay focused on the facts and let everyone hear what's really going on, the producer said, gently guiding the conversation to maintain structure despite the apparent intensity of someone who had been defending himself behind the scenes. For far too long, cameras were adjusted, angles were changed, and the set appeared to hold its breath. Yandy, who had always been a rock of strength, known for her poise even in the most trying situations, was shaken to her core by the revelation. Today, the cameras captured not only the conversation, but also the quiet moments. The subtle flickers of doubt, the tight clenching of fists, and the glances that spoke volumes without words. Mendeecees leaned forward, trying to emphasize the sincerity of his statement. I understand how shocking. Now, with the truth exposed, she faced a complex mix of vindication and lingering uncertainty. She recalled the nights spent publicly defending Mendeecees, the conversations with friends trying to sort out what was real and what was rumor, and the relentless social media speculation that had painted pictures of betrayal that weren't entirely accurate. I am aware that many may doubt all I have said in the past, but the most crucial thing is that the truth is known. I am not Erica Mena's child's father. This cannot be disputed. His steady yet passionate voice held the weight of years spent under scrutiny, defending his character in the court of public opinion. Yandy's initial silence was recorded by the cameras, and just before her emotional response became fully apparent, her eyes began to well up with a hint of tears, reflecting the difficulty of processing both relief and lingering betrayal. I don't even know what to say right now, she said. It's a substantial amount. It alters everything, but it also makes me realize how much strain we've been under and how isolated people may assume the worst without knowing the whole story. Her voice wavered a little, exposing the fragility underlying the calm veneer she frequently displayed to the public. The tension persisted as the talk went on, and crew members spoke to each other, seeing the genuineness of the reactions. This was true emotion captured in its unadulterated state, not contrived. Yandy eventually looked straight at Mendeecees, her voice firmer now, carrying a combination of resolution and lingering doubt. And we move forward knowing that this is genuine. The drama that reality TV depends on is intense, emotional, and loaded with both personal and public consequences. She paused to let her words sink in. People will want drama, but we have to remember that the truth matters more than their assumptions. Mendeecees nodded in agreement. We'll have to face the questions that will inevitably come from fans, media, and family alike. We have to be careful because the world is watching. Uncomfortable, the story has been twisted enough, and now we have a chance to correct it. The moment was full of significance, encapsulating the essence of the high-stakes, emotional drama that had engulfed them. The cameras rolled, recording every nuanced change in expression, every pause, every breath that carried weight. Suddenly, the topic of Erica came up. Mena herself was the subject of public conjecture, raising questions about her intentions, the reasons behind her claims, and the effects of her accusations on Mendeecees and Yandy. The cast and crew speculated in private, being cautious not to cross the line into defamation, but conscious that the audience would be scrutinizing every detail. The social media Yandy's expression hardened as she addressed the wider implications. We need to consider how this affects our family and our public image. It's not just about clearing a name, it's about making sure the people we love aren't dragged through unfounded rumors. Her words resonated with a sense of protective urgency, highlighting the personal stakes involved in this highly publicized drama. Mendeecees responded in a measured tone, saying, I understand that balancing accountability with defiance. The dialogue captured a rare moment of vulnerability mixed with strength, the kind of nuanced interaction that made viewers feel connected to the unfolding story. The conversation shifted slightly, exploring the reactions of everyone who had been waiting for clarity, and now that it was here, the process of navigating relationships and trust started anew. The feelings of extended family and close friends who had been caught in the middle of public speculation ranged from shock to relief. But the underlying tension remained constant. Every look, sigh, and gesture that conveyed the emotional intricacy of the situation was captured by the crew. Online viewers of the drama responded quickly, with live updates, social media posts, and popular hashtags amplifying the intensity of the story. The cameras made sure that no moment went unnoticed, capturing the essence of reality TV at its most raw and impactful flub. Yandy finally permitted she took a deep breath and said, acknowledging the gravity of the situation, we have to remember that the truth doesn't always make things easy, but it does make them clear. This is a moment for us to reassess, rebuild trust, and navigate the aftermath with integrity. Her words carried a dual weight, the public and the personal acknowledgement of pain. The tension that persisted throughout the day's filming served as a reminder of the profound impact that public opinion could have on interpersonal relationships. Every camera angle, nuanced gesture, and well-chosen word contributed to the fabric of a narrative that blurred the boundaries between reality and entertainment. And the developing drama promised more turns, revelations, and moments that would put everyone's fortitude, resiliency, and authenticity to the test. Yandy attempted to remain composed, but the flicker of emotion in her eyes revealed the difficulty of processing such a public and personal upheaval. Crew members whispered softly, conscious that they were capturing history in its most regal form. The aftermath of the revelations settled over the set like a dense cloud, the weight of what had been uncovered still pressing on everyone present. Mendeecees, sensing the need to address the larger story, spoke carefully as the cameras continued to record every nuanced look, pause, and hesitant gesture that expressed the complex mix of relief, disbelief, and lingering tension. This isn't just about clearing my name. It's about making sure the truth is known so that rumors don't continue to harm the people I care about. The public has seen rumors, fragments, and assumptions. Now they have clarity. His tone was measured, but emotive, reflecting someone who had put up with constant rumors and now faced the difficult task of rebuilding his reputation while providing for his family. The revelation of Mendeecees' innocence regarding Erica Mena's claims was a relief, but it also opened the door to more scrutiny. Yandy, why isn't sought racing? She had been in the public eye long enough to understand the power of perception and the destructiveness of misinformation. The inquiries would never stop. How had this situation come about? Who else may be involved? How would they handle the social media firestorm that accompanied each revelation? The topic of discussion turned to the wider ramifications for their family. Close friends and extended family had been caught in the midst of circulating rumors, and their responses ranged from shock to cautious optimism. Mendeecees looked around, recognizing the general relief and anxiety of those in attendance. We must take into account not only our own viewpoint, but also the feelings of everyone impacted. His remarks highlight the delicate balance between transparency and compassion, which is crucial in navigating the aftermath of public scandals.